everybody. This is Dr. Elsie Ko again, here with Lead Physician, the founder, and here to help you answer. We want to answer this question with our expert, Dr. Rao Kolusu, is here with us again. Last week, he was talking about, dealing with stress. He's an expert in stress relief and overcoming burnout for healthcare professionals. And not only does he teach leadership, but he combines ancient wisdom and his expertise in yoga to help us. So during this time, and this, especially during the COVID era when everybody's stuck at home and on Zoom calls and using technology more than ever, personally, I feel this, the stress and the overwhelm of information overload. I'd love to continue this conversation with him. I'm so grateful that you're here, Dr. Kolusu, if I may call you Rao. And please tell us, what are the top 3 to 5 basic things that we as healthcare professionals can do to overcome a lot of this stress and overwhelm with information overload?
Okay. Number 1, you want to bring your sensitive side to the patient. So you go to the patient care with the approach, I'm going to help this patient. That puts things in perspective. Then what is appropriate information only, you bring it to him. So you have already divided from being involved in your mind to using the mind for your patient's sake. That's number 1, okay? Number 2 is you work on yourself before you come to the patient. That means don't get up, get involved in the information, but take care of yourself, your mind, your body. Simple exercises, simple meditation where you have everything centered in the morning. Simple meditative practice, where you center yourself and then go for the work, okay? Number 3 is when you interact with the patient, first get him in your fold. Understand what his needs are, both physically, medically, and also emotionally. And then go to the information that's needed and tell him the diagnosis, tell him the alternatives, tell him all of that. Then make sure he understood that. So I'm trying to get you more to get out of patient-physician relationship, interaction. Then you get not only the result from the intellectual work you have done, but also the satisfaction of the patient, and he cooperates better with you. So instead of just coming in and say, okay, you have COPD, your lungs are short, you have to take this, otherwise you're going to die. Rather than that, you can tell him how he can do the medication, how he can better, what the course of the disease could be otherwise. And then you can also tell him, you can do these breathing exercises, you can do the pulmonary rehab, give him some hope, improve his quality of life. Eventuality will be, he will be dying anyway. But even that man who is a COPD terminal can feel better those last few days. And that is good for you because you have helped him.
Can you tell Rao, can you tell us a little bit about those simple exercises that you just mentioned?
Yeah.
What are those simple exercises that we need to do to be prepared for our workday?
Very simple is when you get up in the morning, you can do some things in the bed, stretches, and I can teach people very simply. So what I figured out was, if you make it like a big program, people may not have the time or inclination or are driven by, suppose you are at hospital, I'm supposed to start at 7 o'clock, they call me 6:45, oh, we have an intubated patient, come quickly, So we cannot determine that. So what we do is, we try to incorporate in the daily life of anybody. So you get up, right after you get up, our body goes into opistotonus, when you bend completely back and the front, you can do that in the body stretches in the bed. That wakes you up because you have stretched the spine. You can sit on the bed and then do some simple exercises that I wrote what is called head to toe in 5 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, if you have time, I can show them too, you know. So you
Yeah.
can sit down and do it, you can stand and do it, you can lie down and do it. I devised this for people very frail, very old people, or very young people. What it does is, it kind of limbers up all your joints in 5 minutes. You just do it, and then you are, according to your age, according to your physical condition, you may have more tension, more stiffness in the morning, you know, that will be released, you know. Then you do breathing exercises also there, you know, 3 or 4 times, you know. I can show you right now, we can both do 3 breaths.
Okay,
How?
let's do it.
Okay, okay. You stand straight with both feet touching the floor, and then your spine straight, okay, your neck straight. Then what you do is you take inhalation as though you are sucking up air from below, from the abdomen. Hold it for a couple of seconds, then that's it. But the important thing is you come down that movement, you are focused on the movement, you are in the present. So instead of being driven by your mind, you are kind of controlling there. So the more during the day you come back to the breath, the more you come back to your center. Okay, so you didn't waste any time. You stretch it for 2 minutes, and then you did this 5 minutes yoga with the head to toe yoga, and then a couple of breaths while you're doing them, and then you go into the bathroom, and then the bathroom, you do a vigorous rub of your skin with the soap. That itself is very good for immunity, therapeutic touch, or it wakes you up too, you know. And then after the shower, you are going in the car, you can do leg and spine stretches in the car. All you have to do is, you can do at your convenience, at your, you know, if you have like a phone call, you may not be able to do. Otherwise, simple things. You can stretch your legs and then do the stretches, and you can do with your side and the front, you can do the spine stretches, and then you can, with your side all the way there, you can do the neck stretches too. This all depends upon how young you are, how fit you are in the body, and all that. Suppose at my age group, people will have some stiffness. So you can feel the stiffness and release it, okay? So you can incorporate it. And then you are going to the hospital, you don't take the elevator, you kind of take the stairs. When you're taking the stairs, you can do stretching, like 2 steps at a time instead of 1 step. And also, if you're walking in the corridor of the hospital, you can be mindful of that. So this is how we can, the main thing is incorporate them into your daily life.
Right. It's not work-life balance like people talk about.
No, they're
It's
not too
in the
different.
moment balance.
Right.
When you're at
Basically,
work,
they both are the same. While
right.
you're working, you are also helping your body. You are
Yep.
helping your mind by taking deep breaths whenever you can. Or one prescription I give to physicians is, don't be going on in 5th gear. Meeting, oh, we talk about so many things. Then patients, we review so much material. Consultant, we talk about so many things, and they will be educating us, we'll be educating them. So many things go on, right? So every 1 hour, just to give a break to that stream of thought. Just being aware of itself stops it. What we do is we go 5th gear all day.
Right.
And it runs more as you go faster. But we think that is smart, but not really not smart. You are putting the neurotic material in a high gear, and that is going to be out of control. So it's not the information out there, it's how I handle and how I come back to my original balance. take a, say what I used to do, my clinic was very busy at times. Sometimes it was so busy. During the busy days, I used to take a lunch break with the girls. And we had a big park around. I used to take them by surprise, and we used to order food somewhere, pick it up and go there. Just for the 1 hour, half an hour, we are in the middle of greenery, beautiful trees, and that itself put them out of that stress.
Yep. It's amazing how we don't even take the time to even look outside, right?
Yeah, we can make even the, for example, you take a lunch break with a colleague, don't talk about patients again there, unless it is relevant,
Right.
do something different, or don't talk, just enjoy the food. So anyway, you have to give that stream of thought a conscious break several times a day. I do it as much as possible every 1 hour, 1 minute.
How do you even remember? How do you remember to do it? Obviously, it's a habit.
I have the Apple Watch. Apple Watch reminds me.
Apple Watch. Yes.
I mean, we can use the technology like that.
Yeah.
What they have is they have this breathing program on the Apple Watch. That comes up every 1 hour, and it has a flower-like thing. It comes up and goes down. So when it comes up, you take a deep breath. When it goes down, you take 8 or 10 times. So you can do deep breaths like that in the 1 minute.
Right.
If you want to do that way, or you just want to focus your mind, you can just close your eyes and center the vision towards the forehead here, and then just stay with it for a few seconds.
Right.
I mean, I'm not talking about deep meditation here. The better thing would be to just focus on the breath again, just to feel the breath coming in and going. Don't have to do any effort. Just have your attention come to the natural breath. Right. That itself cuts the connection to the brain.
Yeah, I love what you're saying, because so many talks about overcoming overwhelm had to do with being organized, focusing one thing at a time, but you're incorporating a mindfulness practice into the work life that's different from what I've seen other people talk about. So thank you.
I would say not mindful, I would say awarenessful. The mind has to be empty by awareness. This is a misnomer. The practice itself is not bad, but it's like a band-aid for the deeper things. But at least people are doing that. That's good. But don't call this mindful, because you're not going to be more mind.
You're not more mind, you're empty mind.
Yeah, that's the one we're doing, because that's the problem, right? We have a lot of mind, a lot of information overload.
Right.
So we don't want mindful. We want to be mindlessness.
Mindlessness.
Yeah. So that means you have to relax the mind. Basically, that's what it is. What I'm saying is, don't drive the car in 5th gear all the time. Give it a break. Even in my Toyota Rao, it warns me every couple of hours, it's time for you to rest. That's not programmed by me, it's programmed by the car. And then it comes and says, it is time for you to rest for a minute. Sometimes I drive 6-7 hours to the hospital, then it comes on like that, So consciously, you don't want to be lazy or anything. Suppose I have 18 meetings in the day, okay? And I'm going to the meetings all the time. I'm keeping my mind in the drive. Things may come or may not come, and lots of times they won't come because they keep on postponing decision for next meeting like that, So we are exercising our mind in something that may not be fruitful. At the same time, we're not taking care of it.
Yep.
Actually, you handle more information this way.
Right.
Because you are fresh.
Exactly.
You are fresh, and then you are attentive to everything.
Right.
That is the key. You don't, we talked about it earlier. We are the patient. We want to be with the patient. He has to feel that he is with me. He's not on the doorknob, or he's not with the computer, or he's not with answering his phone, or talking to his nurse and all that. But he wants is, I am there. I have a connection with him. I look at his eye. I make him feel like I'm listening to him, and also I understood him, and he understood my instructions.
So you're saying being present with no matter what you're doing during the day and focus on that person and what you're doing.
That's the key. That's the key.
So when you're eating, focus on the food that you're eating.
Exactly. That's really important, because if you start chewing better, enjoying it better, you digest it better.
Yep. I mean, a lot of times I'm multitasking and I'm eating while I'm watching something or reading something. And the next thing I know, I'm eating twice as much as I'm supposed to.
Unconsciously, we are eating a lot, because everything is going without chewing. And then we fill up the stomach, the satiety, that satiety response, 20 minutes, either you eat or not, it will come. But if you give so much food in 5 minutes, you eat a lot.
That's right.
This is one of the things I teach the obese people who are struggling with the diet. I tell them always slow down.
Slow down and pay attention.
Eat what you don't fill the stomach with a big stomach, and then it stretches. It won't have the satiety response unless it stretches that way.
Let me ask you one last thing, Rao. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I want to make this a little bit short. I know people have busy days, and I really appreciate your time. But you spoke to me about how your routine of before you go to sleep. And I was really struck by that, because that's not something I would normally do. And it makes sense. I mean, this morning I woke up, Rao, and I was in a panic. I woke up in a panic thinking about how my son, he's a freshman in college, he's away from home. And in my dream, he was in the house and I couldn't find him. And to me, it means I have no control. He's not here. He's not here anymore. I don't know what he's doing. How do I have a good night's sleep? So it's solid. And you spoke about things that we need to do before we go to sleep to get it.
I mean, everybody has individual situations and we have to approach it a little different. But generally, as doctors, we have so many situations, whether the discussion with a nurse or a family, difficult family members, or situations in the ICU. So many things come up, where we have to be emotionally invested in them, and then we react by feeling good or bad and whatever, right? But we never reflect on them. We never, basically, what I was following was the sages greet themselves every day in the morning. Sir, is your mirror clean? The mirror they're talking about is the mind. So every day in the morning, they start with that. Is my mirror clean? What I was suggesting was do that in the night at the end so that you can sleep with mirror clean. And when you wake up, obviously there will be so many dreams and all of that. If you are unattentive during the day, you will have more dreams because they're unresolved things that is brain is trying to put it in order. It wants order. We don't give it order. We don't make it real, we make it like more like we should not think about it. No, it will think about it, it will come up, So what you do is you reflect on whatever experience is going on in your mind. So like your son is not there, you are missing him. And as a motherly instinct is to protect him, that means you are still in the role of the mother. Once you understand and you resolve that within yourself, you will resolve that fear. Like, for example, you convince yourself like, I'm not going to be holding him forever. He has to be in the world. He has to live. As long as he knows what is what, and I have done my job of telling him whatever I know, I have done it. And beyond that, I gave him the strength to be independent, to be self-reliant. That's what I told my son. I want to be self-reliant. Now he does everything by himself and all of that. That's why yesterday he could not come for the Saturday meeting because he was busy with the kids and he's a band teacher. I said, fine, feel free. Don't worry about it. So that kind of pressures we put on them emotionally, like I'm your father, I'm doing this webinar, I want you there. That's the pressure. That's like making him pay for me just because I happen to be his father. So that kind of things we resolve. You be in a relationship, we want our wife or husband to be independent and let them make me independent too, not dependent on each other in that way, So like that.
Yeah. So how do I know what's in my mind to release it so that my
Yeah,
mirror is
yeah,
clean?
yeah, that is the one. What you do is go to bed at 9 o'clock, for example, you just lie down, close your eyes, and run through like a cinema, like a movie, all the events of the day in reverse order.
Wow.
8:30, I took the dinner, we had this conversation, we talked about mortgage. I can deal with it tomorrow. I don't have to worry about it. Okay, then it becomes not like a worry that is there, but it's kind of something. Other thing I recommend to people is write down everything that you have to do tomorrow and then forget about it for the night.
Mm.
Don't sleep with all those plans and everything in your mind. That's how we clutter it. So unclutter everything that happened through the day in reverse order.
Yep.
6 o'clock, I met this friend. We had a nice social drink. We caught up with so many things. Then you are happy or you are missing her, whatever. Then resolve that. You don't need to sleep with that during the night.
Right. I love that you say write it down,
Yeah.
the things that you have to do. And also, allow yourself, and this is some of my mentors told me, and I've had these discussions with colleagues, is schedule the time that you're going to worry about something and say, you know what, I'm not worrying about it right now. I'm going to schedule this Friday at whatever, 10 a.m. is when I'm going to think about it.
Schedule it when the other person is also available for that.
Right.
They
Or
may not
schedule
be,
it when you're going to actually sit down and worry about it and give yourself that 10 minutes.
even with yourself. That's actually, you have to repair the brain. For that, you have to reflect on things, and then you have to recollect things and then put it away.
Yep.
So you have to work with your mind a little bit. So all I'm saying is a practical tool. In the morning when you get up,
Yep.
don't have the devices wake up before you.
Yes.
And also when you're sleeping, let them sleep first.
Yes.
Simple technique, right? Don't
Yes.
touch them when you wake up right away.
For how
And then
long?
put them away. Put them even 5 minutes. It becomes a just
habit.
like that.
Yes. I'm waking up
Because,
first.
yeah.
Not
Again,
my
that word.
device.
Again, that word, attention.
Yep.
Be conscious. You have to be conscious about it every day. You have to be conscious about it, how you can make the mind not dictate you. This I talked about in my talks. Don't make mind your master. Make it your, it's a good slave,
A
but poor
servant.
master.
Yeah. Your mind is your servant. You are the
Yes.
master of your mind.
Yeah, but if you really look at it, lots of times it is our master.
Yes.
Because
It should be the other way around.
yeah, suppose you take your dream about your son, what it is, the more you think about that way, like you are missing him and you are kind of possessive of him, or you want to protect him or whatever, they become what are called samskaras. That's what yoga describes, where ingrained thought, repeated unconsciously, becomes your habit.
Right. I
That
become a
habit is,
slave to it.
yeah, and that habit comes automatically
Right.
without
We need
your
to change
knowledge.
our habits in order to clear our mind.
Yeah, how you think, you have to think about that too. Suppose you are with a bad patient and then the patient left with a sore taste in your mouth, and the next time he comes, don't bring that old experience into this.
Yeah.
Maybe he's regretting, maybe he realized, maybe he understood what you're saying. So he's completely new to you. I will leave something that you can think about. This was posed by J. Krishnamurti one time. Sir, when you have 30 years of experience, when you come to that person, is the 30 years sir looking at the person, or you are looking at the person now? Your image about him coming up first, or is he now right now fresh? Can you see that? That's what you need to do every day in the morning, and in the night, try to wipe that off.
Okay. So listen, Dr. Rao, how would, I know you said you have scheduled meetings on Saturdays. Is this open to the public, or how do you, I know you have on LinkedIn on your profile actual links to webinars that you've done, including on information overload. How can people be a part of your program?
Well, webinars are advertised widely so that anybody can join. People are coming from India and other countries too. And then I'm kind of put the recordings also. But yesterday we could not record it for some reason. It did not record. But otherwise, most of the meetings are recorded and put in the LinkedIn in my profile for my LinkedIn family. And then whoever is kind of interested in me and have taken personal requests made personal, then I used to send them all the requests and all that. Right now, I'm kind of keeping it for the friends and the family and LinkedIn, but anybody can join it. And I kind of, they can email me and then we can send the invitation to them,
Right.
I'm not doing the Facebook Live and all those things now, but I do different activities on the Facebook, But the Zoom meetings are the ones that are going on. And anybody wants to join, they can email me a request.
Well, I appreciate it. And thank you so much for this live interview. I'm going to end this now, but I hope in the future, if you're interested in learning more about how to become mindless, emptying your mind so that you can free yourself.
More of awarefulness.
Aware, yes, being aware and being in the present moment all the time, not just,
be aware, be conscious.
In the morning or on the weekends.
Yeah,
being aware, and that's really how you're going to take care of yourself is what Rao is saying. Thank you so much. Thanks everyone for watching, and please leave some comments if you like this video, if you really enjoyed this, so we can have more of this in the future, so I know that this is something that you like. All right, take care everyone, have a great Sunday.